Okay, heading along now with the next of these Vigilors. I have to admit, these are very long-winded jobs, these models. So let's get myself up and running. I need to start off with 19 and 20. So we've got 19 here. And then we have to pick a head of either number 21 or 22. I think I'll go with 21. I've decided to go for a lot more covered heads on these ones. Okay. Just reading up on some of the kind of lore that's going with the stone casts. I'm finding them quite interesting. I have to admit, the idea behind them is quite interesting. I think I was talking and then my camera weirdly cut off then, so I'll have to glue these videos. Yeah, what I was saying, yeah, I find these quite interesting anyway. They're very, you know, the way that they're great heroes reforged and so on, which, you know, does work well in a fantasy setting. Gosh, my voice seems to be going. I probably shouldn't be talking so much. But yeah, I think the thing is, I have to admit, as an army, if I wasn't getting them in this game, I probably wouldn't choose to collect them. I'll probably just, you know, stick to my orcoids as a rule. But it's nice to have two armies, because if I ever want to have a battle eventually when I get round to it, you know, I've got a second army to actually play with. Right, let's check how this goes together. It's quite a weird one. So it looks like these kind of, yeah, there we go. Oop. So they're joining together like this. Well, at least that's a nice easy join. Glue's about to blast out, I can feel it. I knew that was about to happen. Look, I took it away first. Okay, nice and simple that part. Then this part kind of popping in. Again, this one seems quite simple. It just feels like it just slots in. So basically, just turn it and you'll pretty much feel, oh, ouch. Stop sliding. I did perfect a second ago and then it slid. Don't think that's right. I think that's too much, that. There we go, yeah. So looking down its own leg. Okay, next part. Right, 23, 32 and 24. I'm going to start with 23. Let's find that first. So it's like it's a back plate. There we go. Back plate in the sword. Let's see how this sits. So it's the back of the model. Yeah, should be nice and simple, that one. You should just feel it slide in, hopefully. Let's see. Now get 30, probably 32 and 24 now. So 24 is over here. Right. So let's work this out now. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. And that goes in easily, doesn't it? It just feels right. There we go. Nice and simple, that one. At least it feels nice and simple. Now, work out this one. And feels like it should go in nice and simple. Just by sliding in there. Let's create that effect. It doesn't seem like there's just checking whether or not it should be higher up or lower down. It feels quite high up to me. Like we're talking almost perfectly straight up, the feel of it. There maybe. Yeah, we've got kind of like a little nook where it seems to, you know, where it seems to just naturally want to slide in. Yeah, so it takes a little bit of a kind of weird little twist at the end. You got to kind of like just pop it in and twist it a tiny bit. So kind of like kind of slide in and then twist it a little bit forward so that it's in that position. There we go, and then push it so that there's no gaps. Good. Then, gosh, now 27 and 28. Now this is a bit of a weird decision because 28 is the pommel of a sword that's just randomly over here. Which we're going to glue into there. Now, all I can think is the reason we have that option is because maybe you can create an alternative where they're physically holding a sword. So it would make kind of sense that it would be out. Then we need, let's have a look, 27, which is this. I think it's this one. Let me just double check. No, that's not it. Let me check here. It's like a little quiver with a little tiny bit of a, there it is. A little bit of cloak coming off it. this is going to pop onto this back point there, nice and simple. There's like a little hole where it will slide into. Still a few little gaps that I'm seeing though, like there on the leg. I worry that I've got that wrong. I mean, it just feels off. Hoping something covers it eventually. Yeah, I think there's something going to cover it in a second. It just haven't done it yet. Okay, gosh, lots of little bits on this one. Right, 25, which is this here, this little bit that's probably going to fill that leg hole, basically. Just here by the look of it, it's going to go over, fingers crossed, and cover that gap. I'm worried about how big that gap is, but by the same logic, I can't seem to see any other way to close it. That is a big gap, isn't it? I worry about that. It just looks too big. I think I've pushed it a little bit too far out, unfortunately. There. Yeah, look. As I've been doing stuff, I've not pushed it in the way I should have done. If you look, it needs to kind of push in a bit more. And of course, trying to do that, you just knock everything else away, don't you? Yeah, it's kind of like, so if you've got a gap here, just try and fill it with a little bit of glue, gently push it inwards like that. Keeps sliding out. This is going to be a pain, this. Just got to try and hold it until it solidifies. Right, well, that's drying. Get number 34 and 26. Gosh, this is such a long-winded one. It's 34 now. Yeah, you need 34 and 26. So where are they? There's 26, there's a little bit. There's just so many little fiddly bits on this one, it's a pain. Gosh, what an annoying setup. Surely these could have just all gone on together. Right, this is going to go over the shoulder at the top here. So it just hooks over, not a problem. Camera's going off focus now. Yeah, so. This is definitely fiddly, isn't it? Wherever you put your finger, you're knocking something. Now, 34. 34. 34 is some kind of... Ah, right, it looks like I saw it before this map. It's quite interesting. I'm sure I saw that before, yeah. Sure, it's a map. It's either that or it's some kind of... Yeah, it's a map. Now, this is quite interesting because it feels to me right now you could do this in one of two ways. Again, it makes me wonder if there's probably alternative bows to this, because he looks like he could be holding a bow as well, couldn't he, all the way out? Ooh. Right, finally the bow, number 33. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm looking at that bow there and I'm convinced that that's an alternative bow for this. There's just no way that he's in that kind of pose and they didn't plan at least a kind of a bow for one of them. Like a proper shooting pose. It just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't have planned that. And I'm sure when I did a count, there's like 10 bows. I've got to do this part now. I hate this part. Right, good. Oh, I'll be glad when this one's done. This is awful. I'm sorry, but I find this whole one terrible to do. You're just so close to pulling parts off all the time. There we go. Well, that was a bloody awful build, I think it's fair to say. Right, there we go though. Do you know what I'm hoping as well? I can, you know, when I put him on his base, I can just bend that leg in that keeps popping outwards. There we go. Right, there we go. He's done. What a horrible build. I mean, what an absolutely pain. So fiddly that one, wasn't it? Right, well, I hope you found that video useful, because I think this is such a odd build. It's probably nice to see someone make mistakes so you don't. So in that case, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the final of these builds.